Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to talk about PWM controllers. So our agenda is basically why to use PWM, uh, where to use them, PWM controllers and their pin configurations, and in last I will perform simulations to get PWM signal. Okay. Uh, so basically, PWM is used for power control applications, particularly in power converter circuits. Okay, some common applications may include motor control applications, DC-DC converters, DC-AC inverters, and there are so many other applications too. Okay. So PWM controllers are nothing but the integrated circuits. They are these ICs are particularly designed for switch mode power converters. Okay, so just we need to connect the external parts, discrete components, just resistor, capacitor, and we can get the signals. Okay, so there are lots of PWM controllers are available in market, but the UC2525 and SG3525 are the most common one, and they are widely used in DC-DC converters, DC-AC inverters, UPS systems, and solar inverters and battery chargers, and there are lots of other applications too. Okay, so figure 1 is about its pins. Okay, so as you can see in this picture that this IC is basically 16 pin IC. So I'm going to discuss one by one about their pins. Okay, so pin number 1 and pin number 2 are the basically inverting and non-inverting pins. Basically, these controllers have built-in error amplifiers. Okay, so what is basically a error amplifier? Error amplifier is basically a comparator. It's op-amp based comparator. So it is mainly used for controlling the duty cycle of PWM signal. Okay, so basically the PWM width can be changed by the feedback and by the reference. Okay, so as we know that comparator have two terminals, inverting and non-inverting. So the if the feedback is coming into the non-inverting pin and the reference is connected with the inverting pin, so both of the signals are compared together. Okay, with that the output of the error amplifier will goes to the PWM stage, and the PWM stage will again look what is the error between the set point, the reference voltage, and between the feedback. So the width will be changed. Okay, so the the output duty cycle is dependent on the voltage level applied on the inverting and non-inverting pins. Okay, so when applied voltage on pin 1 is higher than the non-inverting pin number 2, the duty cycle will be increased. Okay, so vice versa, if the voltage will be decreased, so the duty cycle will be decreased. Okay, so now moving forward, pin number 3 and pin number 4 are for the synchronization purposes. If we are going to connect the multiple ICs with the master IC, so these two pin will be connected with the other IC. Okay. Uh, Okay, so the frequency, the output frequency is wholly solely dependent on the timing capacitor CT and the timing resistor. Okay, if we will increase or decrease the values of these two components, resistor and the capacitor, the frequency, output frequency will be changed. Okay. So as you can see, there's another pin, pin number 7. This pin is used for the for creating the dead time. Okay. So as you can see in this picture number 2, that there's some gray area which is called a dead time area. Okay. So basically, why we need a dead time, or what is basically a dead time? Dead time is basically created for switching on and off the IGBTs or MOSFETs, which we are going to operate with these PWM controllers. So it is very necessary or essential to be ensure that the MOSFET is switched off if the another pulse is applied on the second MOSFET. So I will discuss this in detail in few other lectures. Okay. So the frequency, output frequency is can be calculated with this formula. So so the F is frequency in oscillations, CT is the basically timing capacitor, RT is the timing resistor, and RD is the basically discharge resistor. Okay. So these ICs have basically built-in soft start circuitry, I mean soft start function. So pin number 8 is dedicated for this purpose. So what happens is when we are going to connect the capacitor between pin number 8 and the ground terminal, so we can adjust the soft start of the output. So why we need basically a soft start? Soft start is needed by the power MOSFETs, because when we are connecting the load, inductive load or the capacitive load, which draws too much current from the power device, so it is necessary to start softly start the converter, so the stress on the switches may be reduced. Okay. So pin number 9 is used for compensation purposes. Okay. So basically compensation is basically a network. It's basically a network of resistor and capacitor. Okay. Which we are adding with the error amplifier to stabilize the output of our power supply. Okay. So I'm going to another slide. Okay. So pin number 10 is for shutdown purpose. If we are going to apply the 5 volts VCC to this pin, the output stage will be shut down. Okay. If we are going to give the or leave it float, we can get the output. But normally if we are not using the shutdown function, so it is recommended that this pin number 10 should be connected with the ground. Okay. So pin number 11 is the PWM output A, and pin number 12 is for ground. Okay. And pin number 13 is basically collector supply voltage. Okay. What is basically a collector supply voltage? So this pin is providing the power supply to the output stage. Basically, as you can see in this diagram, that there are transistors. Okay. So they are basically complementary transistors with the same power levels and voltage levels. Okay. So this thing is called totem pole. Okay. So the output stage is connected with the pin number 13 is for VCC. So output stage is connected with some power level, some voltage level. Okay. So if If pin number 13 is connected with the 15 volt, then we will get the output of peak to peak of around 15 volts of this pulse. Okay, so pin number 14 is for channel B, output channel B, and then we have 15, pin number 15, which is actual the VCC supply voltage of this IC. Okay, and the pin number 16 is basically a reference voltage, which is basically onboard reference supply. Okay, so we don't need external resistors to be to create reference voltage. So these reference this basically a reference voltage can supply 20 milliampere of current. Okay, so this is basically circuit diagram. I mean the block diagram of this. There's a reference regulator. There's a pin number 16. It is getting the supply from VCC pin number 15 and the ground. Okay, so okay, that's it. So now I am going to perform the simulations on Proteus, and our next lecture will be on MOSFET gate drivers. Okay, so actually before going into details of power converters and to get the actual output from the power converter, we need to understand about the MOSFET gate drivers. Okay, so move forward. I'm going to now open the simulation software. Let me open. Okay, so I'm creating a new project over there. So now you can see test project, test project, test project. Okay, fine. Already test project is available. Okay, so I'm going to now I'm going to select the IC, basically UC2525. Okay, with this IC I need some external components, resistor. So basically I'm using a resistor and then a capacitor. Okay, what happened? Capacitor. Okay, capacitor. Okay, so basically I am going to pick the electrolytic capacitor and the non-polar capacitor. Okay, and then I need a battery, a voltage source. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to place the IC over here. As you can see, basically the IC UC2525. So first of all, I would like to connect the power supply to this IC. I am going to set the voltage level of 15, and then I need to connect I'm going to connect VC terminal with the V in pin. Okay, because I want peak to peak output around 15 volts. So I have directly connected this pin VC pin with the VCC pin, V in pin. Okay, so I'm going to connect this with the this, and then I would like to connect the ground terminal over here, and then I would like to connect another ground over here. VSS is basically a ground terminal, okay, of this IC. So now I'm going to connect another part, going to select another part, which is potentiometer part, okay, okay, and then I need to connect over here with the reference pin, and the ground, okay. uh, the value of this part should be at least 10K, okay. So now I'm going to connect the resistor, dead time resistor, between pin number 7 and pin number 5. So let me do this, okay. So this the value of this resistor should be from from 10 ohm to 500 ohm. So I'm going to select put the value 50 ohm, okay. Now I'm uh, going to connect the RT timing resistor, okay. Another part will be connected with the CT. Basically this is basically a timing resistor, okay. So I'm going to do this, okay, fine. And then I have to connect these with the ground terminal, okay, the ground terminal, okay. The value of CT will be around 2 nanofarad, and then the RT should be around 20K, okay. Okay, fine. And then I have to connect the soft start capacitor with this pin number 8, okay. So the electrolytic capacitor will serve the purpose, okay. And then I'm going to connect the ground terminal over here. 1 microfarad is enough, but more than enough, but I'm going to place 0.1 microfarad just, okay. And then I need to connect this pin with the VCC directly if I'm not using these two pins for creating slabs to this IC. So I'm just directly connecting this pin with the VCC, okay. So what else is remaining? The compensation, okay. The compensation network will have capacitor, okay. So I'm going to connect the capacitor with this pin, cap over here, and then a resistor, and then I will connect with this capacitor. I will give another lecture about the compensation, that how these capacitor and the resistor will be selected. So there will be another lecture about these values, the selection of proper compensation. Okay, so let me adjust this value 33 pf picofarad. Okay, and then I need to connect the another capacitor with this compensation network. Okay, so it would be over here. Okay, so this capacitor will be directly connected with the pin number 9 and the ground. Okay, so all done, and then I need to connect, as I said, if I'm not using the shutdown function, so I'm going to connect directly with the ground. Okay, and then I have just only two terminals remaining, pin number 11 and pin number 14. These are basically the PWM outputs. Okay, so I'm going to connect the resistor. Basically the output stage is uh, open collector, so I need to connect the resistors with these two output stages. Okay, and then I have to connect this with over here to the ground. Okay, that's it. So now I'm going to connect the oscilloscope at the output. Okay, this is basically channel B, but I'm going to connect over here, over here, and over here. Okay, fine. So I'm going to run the simulation. As you can see, I'm getting the PWM signals from this IC. So as you can see, basically these are two square pulses, uh, uh, opposite square pulses uh, with some sort of dead time. Okay, this is basically the dead time, the off time, lag time between two pulses. Okay, for now I think it's okay, but in next lecture I will discuss about MOSFET drivers, and we will connect some sort of MOSFET drivers over in this simulation, and we will do the actual simulations. Okay, so till now, thank you. Allah Hafiz.